Hello, hello. I'm back. I made it. I'm responsible. I'm doing the Godot thing that I did not do last weekend because I was simply too lazy. Hey, Joker, how's it going? So yeah, I took off last Saturday because I was just chilling. It was no other excuse other than I was just being lazy. It was a nice weekend though. But yeah, that's no problem, Joker. But we're back this week, and hopefully this week we can actually round out what I have sort of marked as milestone 1 in my basic planning document, right? So player can move, player can shoot, player can move the camera, although we can't exactly aim the cannon, but we can move the camera. That advancing the cannon will, I think it's reasonable to have that as this too. So the environment is just, I mean, it's just open. I did some work on, I've got a water shader, but it doesn't seem to scale up properly. So I'm not going to worry too much about that. Open is fine. Just an environment that we can move around. And then the last thing we need is to figure out some form of enemies, which is just targets that can be shot, and when shot, go away. Like, that's, you know, the baseline fundamentals of a functioning basic interaction, right? You can move around, you can interact with the world in some capacity, and the world exists. In this case, the most simple, flat way possible, but it's gonna be an open ocean. There's not that much going on. We can deal with that later. As a reminder, where we stand currently is that, well, I'm really not that thrilled with the camera, but we can turn, we can shoot, we have no sound or anything. We can set our throttle, set it to back, we set it to forward, slow, fast, very nice. It works. All the things that we did last time continue to function as they should because I didn't change anything. And we can fire the cannon. So we have things doing things. So that's good. So where we're at is that we need a new scene. A new 3D scene. And we're going to rename this to enemy target. Under which we need to add a mesh instance 3D, to which we'll add a simple, what do we want? Do we want a sphere or a capsule? We'll do a sphere. We're not exactly shooting at people, so capsules don't necessarily make sense. So we need a mesh, and then do we put the mesh instance static body 3D, and then a collision shape. Static body. What exactly is a static body? 3D physics body that can't be moved by external forces. When moved manually, it doesn't affect other bodies in its path. Okay, no, that's not what we want. We actually want a rigid body. And player mesh, player collision. Okay, so I guess the top, this should be change type. So this should be a rigid body 3D. This node has no shape, so it can't collide. Yeah, I'm getting there. And so now we can add a collision shape 3D. within which we will add the sphere shape. And so now we have something that, I mean, roughly can exist. So for this, we need to add the script, which will be under scripts. This needs much better organization if I'm going to do anything meaningful with it, I sort of realize. Create scripts, enemy target, script. We can save this under scenes, enemy target .tscn. So under player, where is it that there was a way that we added groups. Where was it that the group was created? Is it over here? Yeah, groups. Yes, Phoebe. No reason to yell. How did I assign this to this group exactly? How do I look at this group? Project settings, globals, groups, player. Where was that assigned? I did this last week. So I had created this player group, which was vital for something to work. Where was it that I assigned? Was it in here anywhere? Export groups? No. Did I end up not using it? Because we got the player 3D. Is it under the cannon? Maybe I didn't end up needing it. And instead, I had simply learned about its existence. Because it's at the very least, enemy target will need a group. Enemy target. This is the enemies group. So I had been walking through a tutorial last time, which I've kind of lost track of all of my tutorials. Maybe I have it in my history. Did that one cover it? There's this dragon shooting that I followed a decent chunk of the tutorial for. But the question is, what do we got? Fireball code, dragon scene, dragon code. Did this have it? Yeah, so this was what was doing some of it. Get tree, get first node in tree, player, global transform. So that was one of the things that they were doing that I figured out I needed the player group. I don't think I ended up using that, though. That would have been under the canon. Script. Canon. No. Okay, so I didn't use that, I don't think. The question becomes, though, were they using that, also using a similar group for, like, enemy? Yeah, so this. So, like, on body entered, body is in group enemies. Yeah, okay. If body, where is body a keyword? It looks like it is. If body dot is in group enemies, body dot take damage. Q free. Would that be on? I think I would need that. Yeah, so they're in the firebolt. So this needs to be in the cannon shell. Yeah, so I had, okay, on body entered. If body is in group. Yeah, so this is... Body dot take damage. Body dot... Body. I guess it... Body dot take damage. If I just type that, what of this is going to... If body dot is in group enemies, and then enemy target, I need 2 groups. I need a new group. I guess I gotta go project setting, globals, enemies, add. This counts as enemies. So if body is in group enemies, body take damage. I don't really, man, I don't know if I want to go through the whole thing of enemy health yet or not. I kind of just want to let the enemy get killed. I guess instead of doing it this way, on body entered, so we could still just do Q free, which should just make it disappear. Why? On body entered. Q free. I guess this isn't like a built-in call. I feel like instead, maybe what we want to do, cannon shell should get marked as player. Cannon should get marked as player. Cannon shell's player. Player 3D should get marked as player. And then we can just check. So then enemy target. We need to detect when anything sort of enters the collision. Actually, maybe we actually want player projectiles as a group instead. So the cannon shell isn't a player, it's a player projectiles. And so what we want to be able to do, so what we want, detect when a player projectile collides. Is it hash? Yeah, okay. Detect when a player projectile collides with collision shape. And then, I mean, Q3 went impacted by projectile. I mean, that's pretty much what we want. We need to find out how do we detect a collision, and then we just do something with it. Body dot is if I guess first and foremost, what we need is the I guess what we would want is the process. We have inputs on this. Inputs. We've got the functions physics process. There's the other kind of process, just like plain process that we want. Yeah, underscore process. Func underscore process. Enemy target. Func underscore process. Expected indented block after. I'm getting there, bro. So if body dot if body entered is true, and then check if what was that command? If body dot is in group. If body dot is in group. You use it here, but you're not as keen on it. Player projectiles. Assignment is not allowed inside an expression. Equals true. Oh, colon true. They use colon instead of equals. Expected statement found found indent instead. Error thing what? If you know what? Let's go to the documentation. Godot documentation. Godot docs. Collision. 3D. Collision shapes. Primitive collision shapes. Well, we're working on it. Performance caveats. Detecting collisions. Detecting collision. Using character. Using move and collide. That's 2D. That's not really what I want. Collision shapes 3D, which takes us back to what we were at. Okay. What about Godot detecting detect collisions 3D. Okay. How to do collision detection in Godot. That's 2 years ago. That's a little old. It might still be close enough.
Struggling with detecting collisions in Godot? Don't worry, it's easy. In this tutorial, I'll be teaching you how to detect when two objects collide with each other. So I've set up this scene where I want to detect...
This song is loud. Why are you so loud, song? Chill.
When the two balls collide. More specifically, when the white ball is hit. So the first thing we want to do is to make sure that our objects are properly set up. Each ball here is represented by a rigid body. But don't worry, this will work on character body and vehicle body as well. So, as a child of the rigid body, I have given this ball a collision shape of a sphere, with a simple mesh of the same shape. This collision shape will allow the ball to interact with other objects in the world that have collision shapes as well.
Makes sense.
It's not the best for detecting collisions in your scripts. So instead, we will add an area 3D as a child of the white ball rigid body. And to give it a shape, I will add a collision shape 3D as its child. And this will be where I will detect my collisions for any purpose I need in my scripts.
Interesting.
I duplicated the white ball using Ctrl-D and only changed the color so it becomes blue. The key here is to make sure that both of your objects have this area 3D. In this example, I will be changing the text in the background when something collides with the white ball. Here is the key to how you can do that. Add a script
using
wherever
an
you
area
want.
3D.
In my case, I'll do it in the game node. Then, I will go to the area 3D of my white ball, and I will go to the node tab. I will then double click on the area entered function. I will then select the node that has my script where I want the detection to happen. Again, in my case, this will
area,
be the node.
we're using area entered.
And now I can see that a function was added. This
Look
function
on
will trigger
area
whenever
3D
any
area
other
entered.
area 3D collides with the area 3D of the white ball. So I can print a message if this collision is detected.
Okay, so the idea here is that potentially instead of the collision, we're using an area, which also has a collision shape, oddly enough. So does that mean every cannon shell should also have not only the collision shape, but also an area 3D? I guess this calls into question if we need this initial collision shape at all. Whoops, not a set. What the hell? Sphere shape. So we have the area 3D under the cannon shell.
And I I will change the content of text I have in the background by simply dragging and dropping the reference of my label in the code while holding the control button. I can now access the label's text feature through this line. So I'll put in my label's name dot text equal hit detected. And we're done.
On
As you
area
can
3D
see,
entered.
both our console and label are detecting that a hit has occurred. If this helped you out, a like would be greatly appreciated. To detect when two objects collide with the child of the rigid body, I have given this ball a collision shape, will allow the ball to interact with other objects in the world that have collision shapes as well.
Right,
But
so they
it's not the best
interact.
for detecting collisions in your scripts. So instead, we will add an area 3D as a child of the white ball rigid body. And to give it a shape, I will add a collision shape 3D as its child.
Right.
And this will be where I will detect my collisions for any purpose I need in my script. I duplicated the white ball using Control
Right,
to show that
duplicated.
both
Great.
of your objects have this area 3D. In this example, I will be changing the text in the backend. Add a script wherever you want 3D of my white ball. And I will then select my case. This will be the script where I want the detection to happen. Again,
So he's adding the function on area 3D area entered. Okay, so I guess we don't need process. So this func on area, is it on area 3D area entered? On area 3D area entered. Area? What is area? What is expected indent? Right, we'll get an indent. So this is the in target. And so this we would do if area dot is what was it, like member of group? Player projectiles expected colon after if, expected indented block after if, which we have. If area is member of group player projectiles, then we queue free. Is this, I don't know if this is correct. This is member of group. Is that it? How was I getting, like... Yeah, this goes to the documentation. Okay. How do I... On body entered. On... So this doesn't necessarily have documentation. The documentation again. On area 3D entered. Is that what? Detecting area entered. Or different actor area access, setting the game area. I guess I should just look up area 3D. Area 3D. Area 3D. Parents collision. Region of 3D space that detects other collision object 3Ds entering or exiting it. Area 3D is a region of 3D space defined by one or multiple collision-shaped 3D or collision polygon 3D child nodes. It detects when other collision object 3Ds enter or exit it, and it also keeps track of which collision objects haven't exited it yet, which one are overlapping it. This node can also locally alter or override physics parameters, gravity damping, and route audio to custom audio buses. Areas and bodies created with Physics Server 3D might not interact as expected with Area 3Ds and might not emit signals or track objects correctly. Okay, so maybe we don't need to give an Area 3D to the cannon shells. Maybe the regular collisions. Area shape entered. Emitted when a 3D shape 3D of the received area enters the shape of this area. Requires monitoring to be set to true. All right, other shape owner equals area.shape find owner. Other shape node equals area.shape owner get owner. Area shape exited. Body entered. Okay, so here's the body entered. Emitted when the received body entered this area. Body can be a physics body 3D, soft body 3D, or grid map. Grid maps are detected if their mesh library has collision shapes configured. Requires monitor. Body entered, body shape entered. Shape 3D of the received body. Body shape exited. Okay, so we should be able to do on body entered. Emitted when the received body entered this area. Can be a physics body, soft body, grid. Area shape entered. Area entered. On area. Is it just on area entered now? Funk on area entered. Oops. Emitted when the received area enters this area. Requires monitoring to be set to true. What is monitoring? Full monitoring. True, the area detects bodies or areas entering and exiting it. Bool is monitoring. Emitted when the received area enters this area. Requires monitoring. Where exactly do I set this monitoring to be true? Area detects bodies or areas entering and exit. Bool monitoring equals true. So. I mean, bool monitoring equals true? Like, is it that simple? Unexpected identifier bool in class body. So, what would this? Get overlapping areas. Has overlapping areas. Overlaps. Okay, so these are signals. Oh boy. Now that we're trying to interact, things get a lot more complicated. Okay, so this is the projectile one. Function on body entered. If body is in group enemies, body dot take damage. Damage. Q free. So this is on the projectile itself. So yeah, okay. So maybe enemy target do we need funk? Take damage. Damage. Q3. Tune 5 function Q3 not found in base self. Wait, why wouldn't you be able to Q3? Extends rigid body. Extends rigid body. Interesting. Why would you not know how to Q3? Does this need to be underscore take damage? I don't think so. I think those are the built-in ones. What in the heck? Huh. Don't quite follow. Godot area collision. 3D. Can I get one more recent? How to generate collision. Godot 4 polygon collisions. How to do collisions. 3D zone and Godot 4 in 1 minute. Godot enemy detect. Hey, Scobalts. When shot. Shooting bullets and detecting collisions. Game development tutorial for beginners by 5. Okay, this might be what I want. It's a little longer. Whoa, dear God, it's loud. Holy shit. Buddy.
Hi everyone. So today we are going to make the bullet shoot out of the enemy and hit the enemy and destroy the enemy. So if you guys are new to this tutorial, we are on the part 5 of Godot game development tutorial for beginners. And if you are new to this tutorial and want to start from the beginning, you can start from the first part, or if you just want to know how to make the player shoot out bullets, you can continue this part. So let's start. First of all,
Okay.
And now let's write
We're
some
doing
scripts.
like bullet stuff.
Okay, first of all, let's write @export export.
So we're exporting. What are we exporting?
And we are going to make a speed variable var speed speed.
That's
Y position
fine.
equal to POSITN.
That's making them
let's,
move.
Downwards it becomes plus. Generally don't. So
What I
we
need
have loaded our bullet
is
scene in the player script. Next, we want something called @export. Yeah. And var next shoot underscore co and cooldown.
Okay, so he's adding a
Next,
cooldown of some sort. I'm not going to worry about that for now.
func underscore pro process. Yeah.
Within the process.
So it also accepts a delta parameter.
So this is within the player. He's doing something.
So there are two types of process. Look, so this is also inbuilt process called underscore process, and this is also underscore
right.
PULLET at the bullets.
But he did.
And this will be
Oh, he's making an input map. Okay. We're skipping. That's fine. I just need to understand.
This position. And save it and run once again.
How do we detect?
Okay, I hit the bullets. Look. Oh my god, there are a lot of bullets. Oh, I am just just pressing one key, I can shoot so many bullets.
Really, the cooldown he was attempting to set up was not doing it.
We are going so in
Or he hadn't fully set it up.
minus the amount of the shoot part save side about number. That means we can shoot bullet.
All right, still haven't gotten where we're going. Hold on. Before we go and wait for that, I'm going to run to the bathroom. I'll be right back. Okay. Hopefully this is going to work. It's not exactly a tremendously watched tutorial video. I just need some baseline understanding of what we're doing.
But it's not destroying the asteroid.
Okay.
So let's destroy it.
Yes. Now we're going to get to the detection,
So
which
to destroy the asteroid,
shockingly short amount of time.
need to add some kind of function inside our bullet scene. So where is our bullet scene? Here. Yeah.
Okay, so within the
Let's go to
bullet,
the bullet script, bullet.td, and inside here we are going to add some script. Okay. Next, let's click on the bullet scene first. So it's an area 2D, and now let's go to the in the inspector. We are in the inspector panel here right now. Let's go to the signal. So signal called body underscore entered. This one. Click here. Double click
body
here.
entered.
And let's just connect this body entered signal. Connect it. So we can find this function here right now. So this function will run when.
So interesting. Okay, so like I had. So they've used on body entered. On body entered. No, wait, hold on. This is on. This should be on the cannon shell. We have on body entered.
Whenever some kind of body enters.
Body colon node 2D. And we have body colon node 3D. Okay, right.
This bullet scene. And inside here we are going to write some code. First of all, let's save it and let's get back to our enemy scene.
Right. So
right
then
now.
on enemy.
Click on the enemy scene. First the top node, and then let's assign it a group. So go to the
So he's doing the
nodes,
group thing.
tab, and in the group let's click on this plus icon.
Oh, that's where the
to
add
make a
group
of
is from
this
that
enemy
window.
shades.
I was looking for
So
that.
we are going to name this group ENEMIE as enemies. And
Right.
let's make it global.
That makes
So make
sense.
it global and click OK. So now this enemy scene becomes is inside a group called enemies. Okay, and if we make other enemies also, we can make all the other enemies inside this group. So right now we have this scene inside this group. Yeah, save it, and now let's get back to the bullet scene. And inside this bullet scene we are in here, and let's find out if that body is inside the enemy or not. So here we are going to write if body dot is underscore in in group.
Okay, so that's interesting. So I guess this, it's marked as a signal. So I guess it's always assumed that that's going to then communicate out. So it's if body, no, if body dot is in group enemies.
And the name of the group was ENEMIES, enemies. Yeah. So, and semicolon.
Oh, do you want a colon?
Colon. So, if that body that just entered the bullet scene is in the group enemies, then we are going to destroy it. So what do? Body dot QUEQ.
Oh, I see. Okay, so we can just do body dot Q free. So this will send it to the body that it impacted with. So this doesn't need anything. This simply just needs to be something that exists.
Free. And it destroys that body. And next we are also going to destroy the bullet also. So because
Right.
it has fired and it has hit
And
the
so
enemy,
then
yeah.
we would also
So
want
we
to, within
also
this,
gonna do
we would
QUEQ free.
we would also want to Q free that.
And I think this should
This one's to be with there. Body dot Q free and Q free. That makes
let's
perfect sense.
save it and let's run our.
Okay, so then within here, we can, these rando bros we can get rid of, because now we can add enemy targets around. And then so if we start this, oh, I think I'm shooting over it. I needed him to be bigger, actually, or higher up, one of the two. Are you guys rigid bodies? Are you guys gonna just obey gravity, actually? You might obey gravity. They do obey gravity. Okay. Then I need you guys to be bigger. Enemy target. Transform scale 3. Just be bigger. Does that carry over to here? Are you guys also bigger? If I add... Okay, now you're bigger. Okay, so... Well, that did not kill it. That is, in fact... It's certainly transferring force, however. Okay. A couple things. Cannon shell. Mass. Down down to 0.1, which probably means that we need to adjust the force applied by a factor of, oops, 10 as well, hypothetically. And that did not actually work. On body entered. So if we instead on area entered, it doesn't count as a signal for some reason. A rigid body has on body entered. Area 3D. Area entered. Connect. Okay, interesting. If area dot is in group, area dot queue free. So I did actually have to like pull this over here to enable that signal. The enemy target did not end up with an area 3D. Collision shape. Inspector. Here. So does that like work better? No, they still, what? It's not doing anything. So it mentions, so I need monitoring. So can I just like area dot monitoring equals true? Area in unexpected area in class body. How? 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 What do you want from me? What do you want from me? Because this didn't need to do any of that.
Let me just
does his work,
bullets.
I guess, is the
Shoo.
question.
Shoo. Shoo, shoo, shoo. Look.
It does. Why does his work?
So we have
on body entered, body colon node 2D void, if body is in group. Like, that shit worked. Okay. Well, here's what we can do. Let me undo. Okay, so on body entered. Print body entered. Print body in enemies. Let's see if anything is occurring. It would appear that this function is not being exercised at all. Cannon shell Yeah. Source, cannon shell, body entered, target cannon shell. Do I need a different target?
Maybe without the program again, run. And let me just shoot out the bullets. Shoot, run.
So did he... Oh, enemy isn't within enemies, but... He like import?
Minus 20.
It's all projectile stuff. Wait, where does he set up enemy? I guess he kind of set up enemy previously in a previous tutorial. Extends on bullet. So he preloads the scene in the player. This is all just about shooting, creating the projectile. And we eventually get, yeah. The bullet is just an area 3D, well, 2D in his case. Interesting. Once full 3D physics cannot be controlled directly. Instead, you must apply force to it. Right. Always maintain its shape and size. How does one detect collision? I mean, what about... What about over here? What about, like, if, on... Funk... On... Body... Entered. I mean, can it just work in reverse? Right? Oh, so on body entered. So what if we just put this here instead? So what about that? No, we're still not detecting or announcing when we know. Obviously the collisions are known, the physics is happening, but why not? It's just like basic physics interactions that we're having. Can we extend multiple things? Area 3D. Extends can only be used once. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. I honestly didn't think this was going to be so so hard. This is odd. Okay, 3D FPS gun in 2 minutes. Well, let's try that video. Can that explain how to detect a hit?
I'll show you how to create a 3D shooting mechanism like this. I started by adding an FPS player to my scene. If you'd like to learn how to create an FPS player, check out Gwiz's first-person controller tutorial, link in the description. I attached a gun with 2 meshes under the camera, and added a node to mark the bullet's spawn point.
Sure.
Now create a new scene and add a character body node for the bullet.
So you're using a character body
Add a
node
collision and a mesh instance.
and a collision and a mesh.
Create a new box mesh and adjust its size.
Or whatever.
Now create a box-shaped collision and adjust its size.
Oh, that's where you adjust size instead of scale.
And rename it to bullet. Now attach a script to the bullet node. This script
Okay.
moves the bullet forward based on its transform and speed. Now save the bullet scene.
Sure, whatever, man.
Now create an input map and assign the left mouse button as click.
The text to speech really sucks.
In the FPS player script, load the bullet scene. And
Okay, so this is a piece that...
drag the position node into the script. And this is the core code for the shooting mechanism. It checks if the player has pressed.
If input is X, just press click. Variable instance equals bullet instantiate. Okay, well, I mean, we have done
Creates
the
a new instance of the bullet scene to use in the game.
the
It sets the
shooting.
bullet's starting position to the global position of the gun pause.
Yeah, I've
It
done
aligns
that.
the bullet's rotation and direction to match the player's current orientation. Now
You
I
got
use
20
the
seconds,
position
bro.
as
I
a tile
swear to
to
God, if you don't explain how to impact something and actually detect it,
Now run the project,
you're not gonna, are you?
and you'll have your FPS player fully armed with a gun.
That's literally all you're doing. You piece of shit. You goddamn piece of shit. Damage calculation and detection from 3 months ago.
You can
Hold
download
on.
the seen the video for free. Look at the description. To have the player
This
detect enemies, if your
Might
enemy
be what
node-
we want. Personally, I prefer to use a class name instead of using groups.
It is a character body or a rigid body. Then first, inside of their script, inside the built-in ready function, we will add this node to a group
Detect
called
and
enemy.
carry a
This can later
body.
be used by the player to detect if their weapon is colliding with this enemy node, and not some other character body or rigid body node. Then inside
a
of
group,
the player's
right?
scene, we use an area 2D node for the weapon, with a collision shape node as the child. This area 2D and its collider will be used to detect the enemy node. While the area 2D node is selected, go to Signals, right-click the body entered signal, and hit Connect. Select the player node with the script, and hit Connect again. Inside the player's script, we can check what this area 2D is detecting, checking if the body node that we are colliding
So,
signals.
the signals
right-click the body
thing.
entered signal,
So
and
if
hit
bodied
Connect.
entered,
Select the player
connect.
node with the script, and hit
From signal body entered. Receiver method on area 2D body entered.
Connect
Connect.
again. Inside the player's script, we can check what this area 2D is.
We have this. We have on body entered signal active on the cannon shell. Cannon shell has an area. We also have the on area entered. What the heck, man?
is detecting, checking if the body node that we are colliding with is in the group enemy that we just created. Keep in mind
Right.
that you will need to add every different type of enemy scene to this enemy group so that they can be detected by this player's weapon. Before we continue with the damage and logic calculation, in the case your enemy isn't a character body or a rigid body, then inside of your enemy scene, we will instead use an area 2D node with a collision shape 2D as a child. You can set the shape and the
Right.
size of the shape to whatever you would like, as this collider and area 2D will be used as the enemy's hitbox, and therefore
Well,
what we
2D,
use to
but
know if the player's weapon is
should
colliding with
broadly
the enemy.
work.
Then inside of the enemy script, inside of their built-in ready function, we can do the same as we did before, simply just adding the enemy to a group called enemy. This will also be used so that the player can differentiate between enemies and other area 2D nodes. Also make sure that the area 2D node is a direct child of the topmost node in the enemy scene, as in the player scene who uses an area 2D with a collision shape to detect enemies for attacking. Select the area 2D for the weapon, then go to signals, right click the area entered signal and press connect, then select the player scene with the script and press connect again. Inside the player script,
Okay, interesting. So maybe the issue is that I need to select the area 3D, disconnect this. So area 3D I have down here. Area entered, connect. Select cannon shell, connect. On area 3D entered. And then this and so this is area entered. If area is in group, print area in enemies, and then area dot queue free. Okay. This time we're detecting that the area is entered. That is an improvement. Okay. Okay. We know we're getting here, but then the area is not in the group. So what if we do get parent area dot is in group enemies. Too many arguments for get parent call. Expand to most. Oh, we don't need this. Oh, would this be if area dot get parent dot is in group enemies? Okay. Area entered, area in enemies. We know that, but then it's deleting the area. So we don't want to area.queue free. We want to get parent. So area.get parent.queue free. Sick. I don't necessarily know that this is a good way to do this. Boop. I feel like it's not a very good way to do this. But it is working, which is a dramatic improvement. And that, honestly, that only took me an hour, actually. Okay. Interesting. So, yes. Okay, so then I saw something that was interesting. So if we go to our water plane, on the front of beautifying things, size. If we adjust size here, yes, that's what we can do. It's not scale that we want to change, it's the size that we want to change. Yes. Yes, I see. Welcome, Priestess. How's it going? Okay, so this was some of my problem as far as getting this to work. Surface material override. There is a height. Lots of water? Correct. Oh man, you are mere moments away, and by moments I mean 2 streams away from hitting the 256 benchmark of Void Orbs, which I still don't canonically have a plan. A little strange. Is there anything about that strangeness you'd like to share? You don't have to, of course, but strange is a mysterious and intriguing way to put it. Depth's offset. That's for the color. There should be a height, a wave height somewhere that I have in here. Wave time height scale. This we want to be relatively small at the moment. So if it's big, we get interesting big waves, but we don't actually have a way to float at the moment. Your schedule for Saturday's been disrupted suddenly. Somebody canceled. I see. Yeah, look at those bizarro waves. They're only sort of okay. So if we point 0.1. Yeah, this water shader is only sort of like passable. It gives us something to work with, but it's not brilliant for my needs. It does help make this not quite so shit, though, I will say. Let me see here. World environment, direction light, the mesh. Can I remove surface material override? Can I have no mesh? Actually, hold on. Do I need a mesh instance for this to function? Mesh. Hold on. Transparency. Alpha. This is also probably not the right way to do this at all. Albedo. Alpha. And then we just make transparent.
We'll do the same
What?
as we did.
Shut up. Okay, and so then the water plane we can push down. That wave scale is so goddamn tiny. Let me see here. Hold on. Water plane. How can I adjust? Let's make this as huge as we need it. And now let's see what we can do about how would I adjust scaling? Height scale, noise scale. What does the noise scale do for us? I want it to be just large. Much large. Noise scale, height scale, wave time, depth, near, far. It's just small ass waves. How do I make this bigger? Is it the subdivisions that I need to work with? No. Is it these guys? generated texture is 512. I apply them more broadly. I need this to appear larger. How do? This is the shader. Did I have to remember how it works? We got a Fresnel. Got an edge. We have the vertex, which is giving it height, you know, waves. Fragment, depth texture, screen UV. It's complicated because technically what I do want to do is scale. But it doesn't quite behave how I expect when it's scaled. Is it an issue of subdivisions? So if I go back in here and I look at the water plane and I bring the size back down to, let's say 10 by 10. And then I do a transform to change its scale to 10 by 10. And then I 100 by 100. And so then we start getting weird stuff. But is it an issue of the subdivisions? What if we increase this also to 100 and 100? It doesn't quite react like I expect. What if I divide it, subdivide it at a greater number? No, it doesn't do better. I don't understand shaders well enough. You know what? We're just kind of gonna have to live with it, I think. At least it's vaguely watery. Oh, did I not save? What are the warnings? Scale changes to rigid body 3D will be overridden by the physics engine when running. Please change the size and children collision shapes instead. I didn't do any of that. What does it say? Scale changes to rigid body 3D will be overridden. Scale changes to rigid... I didn't intend to do that. Oh, no. I did do that. I did do that. Transform. Transform should be 1. It's not transform. It should be size. That's less spherical than ever. Interesting. And then collision area, that's not correct anymore. How? Delete this. Delete. And then I'm like, add collision. Does it make it the correct size? Here. It doesn't. But this is where we can say... That's not what I was trying to type. 1.5. Area. Collision. 1.5. Now are you going to... Right? It should be better. You should stop complaining. Okay, well, in a broad sense, it's working. I need you guys to move up. Oh, did I change the scale for you here? I did. Go back to that. That's your issue. There we go. Yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay. That functions. Similarly, we can get rid of our help print here, our debug tools. I honestly can't necessarily say that I have learned a whole lot today. I feel like I really stumbled my way through setting that up in a functioning fashion. Oh boy. Okay, so let's take a moment. Oops, I didn't mean to do that. I just replaced my YouTube creator. Come back here. I need this in a new window. Okay, let's talk about what next steps are. Milestone 2. Where do we go from here? With our 3 spaces: player, environment, enemies. Environment. Boy, do we want to go for buoyancy already? Honestly, I don't think I do. Island/terrain within ocean. To give us some interesting environment. Player can aim the cannon. Camera is converted to... this is a big one. So the camera is converted to... well, okay. So, hold on. Free the mouse from the camera. Cannon follows the mouse. And camera is moved when the mouse is near the edge of the screen. So we're changing how that works. So we point and click. That's going to be complicated, but I have a tutorial specifically that I think should work. Well, I had a tutorial and I think I have misplaced it now. That's fine. We want some terrain in the environment. We want sort of our control mechanisms to shift. Mouse is free. Cannon follows the mouse. Camera is moved when the mouse is near the edge of the screen. Enemies can move in straight line. And also maybe have health that interacts with cannon. Because quite frankly, the having health is actually pretty easy now that we have the cannon detecting when it's impacting. Because we can give the cannon a damage number. We can give each enemy a health value. And instead of just instantly killing any enemy, then we simply reduce their health by cannon damage. And then checking if that health has reached 0, then we queue free. Hey, Joker. So that's the way that would work. This shouldn't be too difficult, having health. So yeah, so we have succeeded in this. Let's put that there. Generally speaking, this is done. Good job finishing your work. I am making progress on something appearing like work. Why is this area 3D so much goddamn bigger? Hello? Oh, it's because this was actually smaller? Oh, I scaled. Okay, I'm doing weird shit over here too. I don't think I should use... You're paving a driveway in House Slipper? Nice. You're doing simulated work. You're flying to Japan. Any recommendations? I do not know. I've never actually been to Japan. It's somewhere that I would like to get the opportunity to go to, but as of now, I have not gone. I really should try to make a plan to go in the next handful of years. Okay, where did I transform these things small? Mesh instance. Okay, so we shouldn't be doing scale. We should be doing size like this. Point 2, 0.4. The collision matches up, but should be done not through that. It should be here instead. In the area 3D sphere, collision shape should be here. There. Okay, so that's now the correct sizing and whatnot. Okay, let's do it. Let's work on this. I think that's going to be the most related and also the easiest. So on our enemy target should have a variable health equals 100.0. var health. And this can be at export var health 100. Welcome, Eat It Stuff. You're totally fine. And this could be an, if I can remember, export group, export group. Stats. Var health. Could even add a variable armor, maybe to get at later. At export var armor equals, let's assume it's 0 for now. And so, wait. Yeah. Okay, so this wasn't what was doing anything. We don't need this. That makes me nervous that I just did that. Let's validate that that was not what was doing anything. It is not what is doing anything. Boink, boink. And boink. Okay, great. What am I working? I am in the very early stages of, I mean, more so than successfully making a game, it's learning Godot, which is a open source game engine, in order to hopefully be able to make a game heavily inspired by the game Warship Gunner 2 from the PlayStation 2, if you're familiar at all, which I imagine most are not. Warship Gunner 2 images. So it's this is generally what it looked like. This sort of game. Oh, those are tiny images. It was very fun. I like this game very much. And so that's broadly speaking the wide strokes of what I'm trying to accomplish. Of course, we're having to start from a much simpler way because I still have to learn how to use Godot. But that's where we're going. So let me see here. I think we need like a function take damage. Damage. Void, I think. Function take damage. So then we have health equals. What would this be? What is it? Minus equals damage? Is that how that works? Health minus equals damage? Expected statement found. Not this. Does this go before? Is it like this? It is. Okay. Health minus equal damage. Print health. I mean, that's pretty much the straightforward one. And then on cannon shell, whereas previously we were doing get parent Q free, it would be get parent dot take damage damage. Area dot get parent dot take damage damage. Hypothetically, this works. Hold on. Are we printing something else? Oh, hold on. I did a stupid. This isn't quote unquote health. It is quote unquote health, or it's unquoted health, the actual value. On the upside, it was printing it. Look, the number, it's changing. This, I guess the major issue I'm having is that, like, the mass is so incorrect. It shouldn't be imparting that much force onto these enemy targets. Although, actually, is part of the issue that we have... Let's give these more mass. Those should be 10 kilograms, let's say. Our scale is so far off at the moment. Constant forces, linear... Damping. Yeah, we need some damping. You have no damp at all. There we go. Now they're not... They're being pushed a little bit, but not nearly so much. Okay, so cannon shell. Damn it. Let's give the damage 30. That's a more reasonable number. And then enemy target. Print health. We'll just keep printing that. Why not? If health is less than or equal to 0. Colon, if health is less than or equal to 0, then Q3. Thank you, Eat a Stuff. I appreciate it. You're very generous to call it cinema. My efforts are... Okay, hold on. This is functioning. Doot. Dead. We can see we've got the 100 health. 1 shot 70, 2 shots 40, 3 shots 10, and then negative 20. Sick. Okay, cool. Hey, Seaweaver. Let's then consider maybe involving armor. Health minus equals damage minus armor. There's a way to clamp this. Clamp. A value min 0. I need to check DMs. Okay, hold on. What's going on? Fantastic. Thank you very much for that. That's funny. What Seaweaver had sent me was the... Was that Metopia? Or the... Tomodachi Life is the new one. Tomodachi Life with me apparently yelling about being called a clanker. Amusing. Okay, clamp. I don't want a minimum. Oh, I could use their ceiling. It's just 2 phrases that have happened over... That's really funny. That's really good. I see ceiling. What about floor? I guess I would want floor. See floor. Rounds X down. No, that's not quite what I want. I want clamp. I do want clamp. Clamp's the value returning a variant not less than min and not more than max. I really just want the one-sided clamp, though. I don't care about the top. Better type safety. Vector clamps. Color clamps. So I would want to be using clamp F for one, for type safety. Oh, I could use clamp, actually. Hold on. No, not F. Health minus clamp. Damage minus armor. Minimum 0. Oh, also, this should be clamp F. Damage minus armor. 0. Or the max would be health. Expected... Oh. There. Clamp. Damage, armor, health. So this should be taking 25 damage now. 75, 50, 25, 0. It is, in fact. Okay. This is actually working surprisingly well. This is the smoothest thing that I have done in Godot yet. Which is a little bit exciting because it validates one of my things that I've been saying about this whole thing is that, like, the beginning is going to be the slowest because I just have to understand how literally anything works. I understand the logic of putting systems together. The problem is I just don't know the syntax to get the systems to play nice together. So now that I'm sort of getting it together, I understand what it looks like to try to deal damage and shit. So now if we go to game, can I make these 3 enemies different? We have stats, we've got health, we've got armor. So for this one, let's make the armor 50, which should mean that I will do no damage. For this one, let's make the health 50 and the armor 0. And then this one, we shall make the health 300 and the armor 10. And so let's see if this behaves as expected. So this guy, boop, boop, toast. This guy shouldn't be taking any damage. He is not. That did exactly what I expected it to do. And then this one is taking the 20 damage per shot. Is that what I predicted? Yeah, armor 10. We're doing 30 damage. Health is 300. Great. That's thrilling. Look how much functionality we have. All right. Great. Now we have enemies with functioning health and armor in an extremely simplistic fashion, obviously. I don't know if I want to try to tackle them moving around today. Well, we could try to do something with the terrain. So I had pulled a plugin at some point. How do I use said plugin? Project. Wait, but seriously, how do I use them? Was it better terrain? No. Hold on. Now I gotta look at Godot terrain plugin. Terrain 3D, I think, is the one. Did I install it? After installation, restart, then enable the plugin in project settings / plugins. Plugins on Terrain 3D. Read all the documentation here and watch the tutorial videos. Terrain 3D for Godot 4. Basic usage. Preparing textures. 32 texture sets using albedo, height, normal, and roughness texture. Texture files. Compression format. I'm not that concerned about the texture right now, honestly. Height maps. Terrain 3D can be used with pre-made height map. Because I thought there was a tutorial videos. Terrain 3D, installation, setup, basic usage, preparing textures, importing, exporting data.
Terrain 3D was released 5 months ago, and today we're entering beta with
Okay, hold on. Let's... Can I go to YouTube for me?
beta with version 0.9. This new release includes support for Godot 4.2, dramatically improved texture painting, an auto shader with dual scaling, holes with collision, paintable navigation. And
Yeah, see, this is what I want.
I have so much
Paintable, this
information
is the
to share with
thing.
you that I had to break this down into 2
I want
videos.
this. This is what I want.
first part will cover installation,
Let me
texture
paint.
setup, importing data, and some of the basic tools. I'm also going to cover a lot of usage tips, and you're not going to want to miss them. In part 2, we'll cover the advanced features such as texturing, material features, holes, occlusion culling, and navigation. Let's get started. Let's set up Terrain 3D. Come to
Okay,
the
we
repository.
did this. We
First thing I'll
downloaded.
highlight
Running
for
the
you is
running the
gives you
demo.
this black. Let's open up Godot. I always recommend running Godot with the console version. That gives you this black window where not only Terrain 3D but also the whole engine will give you informational messages. Let's import this new project.
Where's this alleged project? Where did you put it? Downloads in the Terrain 3D. I don't know where it was. Your fireworks outside. We do not have any fireworks at the moment. We certainly had them for a while. Okay.
To install Terrain 3D in my own project, I'm going to open up
That is
my
always the
project folder
question, really.
for-
It's like, why did you not use them? Like, get through that shit. Wrap it up.
out of the ashes, go into the add-ons directory. In the download, I'm going to add-ons, and I'm going to copy Terrain 3D into my project add-on folder. Then once I load out of the ashes, I'm going to go through the same process where I restart the engine twice. When you're ready to make a new scene,
What?
make a new 3D scene, add in a new Terrain 3D node.
Okay, is that the thing I need? Is that what I need? So if we're in game plus Terrain 3D. Okay. Oh my god, things are happening. Okay, hold on. First and foremost, can we... Oh, no, you shouldn't be there. You get out of there. Let me hide that. Okay, so then hypothetically there's a Terrain 3D now with no texturing, which, you know, not ideal. Oh, we've got stuff going on down here.
Notice it asks us to save the storage resource to disk. So come over here, click on storage, save, and we will save this as a binary res or resource file.
A binary res. Wait, where did he say? Storage?
And we will save this as
Storage. It's not an option. Material assets. Oh, data directory. New folder, terrain. Select. Okay, are you happy now? Seems
as a
happy.
binary res or resource file.
Seems to have
T-res is
not
text,
needed a name
res is
this time
binary.
around. It seems to just...
These other two resource
They've
files can be
updated.
saved as well. They can be saved as a text resource file. And the primary reason we would want to save the material and texture list separately is so that we can share them between scenes.
Okay. Then we could save as new terrain 3D material, sure. Ender terrain. And then oh, hold on. It's not responding well to that. Didn't like that at all. Oh, you know, I really should, before I go. Yeah, that crashed. That definitely crashed. Okay. Well, we didn't like that. So, before we do that again, what we're going to do is we're actually going to commit the changes we've made. Get status. Oops. I need the right directory. Get boat game. Oh, not the get GUI. That's not what I meant. I don't use the GUI. I don't know how to read that. Get bash. Get status. Get add dot. Get commit message. Add cannon collision with enemies. And enemy. Add enemy armor and health. Thanks for stopping in, Eat Stuff. Have a good night. Get status. Get push. For those unfamiliar, I'm just working through Git stuff, which Git is a oh shoot, something manager. What is that? A version management protocol. And so I'm just committing all the work that I've done so far and pushing that up into the remote repo so that if something happens to my local instance, I can recover what has been done. Version management. It's important. Very valuable. Saves you from stupid mistakes. Which I almost did by trying to use a plugin that freaking crashed my game. You know, I'm not going to worry about that right now, actually. What state are you guys in, actually? Did all that save correctly? Yes, we have our health and armor and things in place. Okay, cool. This has actually gone quite well. I've only been streaming 2 hours. I don't want to cut so early, but I'm not 100% sure what I want to move on to trying to do next. Let's see. I guess what I could do... Do I want to do that? Do I want to, instead of fumbling around in Godot, do I want to go fumble around in Blender instead? I guess I could. Next stop would be getting a model that isn't a brick Right? Like getting something even vaguely more ship-shaped. God, I suck ass at Blender, too. God, why do I keep just... Why do I have to do all of these things that I'm bad at? Why can't I just do good things that... Oh, the navigation's totally different. Oh, it's agony. No. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, it looks so much alike when you look at the viewport and everything, and then you try to navigate the same way, and it's like, absolutely not. Okay. File save as, I guess. Boat game. New folder. Should I put it here? I shouldn't put it here. Oops. Delete. I'll put this up here. One level up. A new folder. 3D models, I guess. Save under there. Basic destroyer dot blend. Sure. Okay, so now we got to get this looking like vaguely. Oh my god, I'm gonna have to look up so many tutorials again. Shoot. Oh, this begs the question of scaling and everything too. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. All right, what we are going to open up is like Blender hotkey list. Default key map. Just show me the list. Okay. And then we can... Oh, shit. I'm an editor key. Ooh, this is user interface key map. Python scripting, common editor keys. Covering. This is not that helpful. Oh, holy shit. This is agony. So I'm thinking, let's see, I'm looking at it. No, just show me the picture. Crying out loud. Open image in new tab. Yeah, so broadly speaking, as far as the hull is concerned, I feel like there's sort of three sections. Mode extend? No, not selections. Not edit mode. Faces. Select, and then what the hell is the extrude hotkey? It's E. E. Okay. Select. So then we want to move this face. Yep, great. And then we want to select extrude again. And then we would want to move these a little broader. How do I want to do this? No, I guess what I want is to select these, flatten it out. That makes more sense to me. I mean, it's functionally the same, but it's kind of makes me feel more reasonable. Okay, so then this... Okay, how do I want to... Extrude, insert, poke. Split a face into a fan? What the hell does that mean? Insert new faces into selected faces. Extrude individual... unsubdivide split. Because oh, also I would want to add hold on a second. We want a modifier. Good luck at your second job there, Joker. I would want to add a mirror. Search mirror. Oh shit. We're locking up. Why are we locking up? I just searched mirror, man. That's not that complicated. Okay, there we go. We're okay. Modifiers. Search. I see. You're searching like everything. That's not what I want. Add modifier. Search. Mirror. Okay, I guess I would have to do this differently. God, I'm really, really atrocious at Blender. Okay, well, let's see what we can do. Here, select. No, edit mode. Select. Points. Shift. I like pinch. I want to pinch these. I want to bring them together. How would I do that? Because that moves the pair of them in tandem. Move 2 points together. Blender. Push pull. Move selected elements further away from or closer to the pivot point. When using the menu item, move the mouse down to push up or up to pull. Push pull. Aha. Aha. I knew it would be a possibility. Okay. How can I... Actually, I want to just, like... So, actually, what would be better than that is to select this line, subdivide this, subdivide... you know what? Actually... Select... base. This guy. Subdivide. Yeah, that should be fine. Well... No, it's like I want to cut it. Object. Select the whole object, and then I want to... Can I subdivide the entire object? Edit. Subdivide. Intercut. I want to... I want to select all. It's like a way to cut. Loop cut. That's what I want. Cut mesh loop. Okay, so if we select this and then we loop cut. Like so. That gives us a central line. Okay, and then... And then we can merge vertices at center. Yes. And then we can merge vertices at center here too. But then we can move this one out. I think what we want to do is actually also another loop cut there. Then we can, whoops, select this and this, and we can do the push-pull thing. You know what? I guess actually we want the whole length, don't we? Pull. So, no, that's... I want it to be... I mean, honestly, we really just need this to be basic. The most basic of basic is fine. Ooh, no, 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 no. Specifically these two. Push, pull. Push, pull. Push, pull. Oh, these two are not quite as pulled. I mean, this is so very, very basic. But it is getting us somewhere. I want these to... what am I trying to do? Insert, bevel, loop cut. What is shear? That's what shear is. That's not what I need. What I'm trying to do is like unextrude. I'm trying to do the opposite of extrude. Which I'm not clear on how I would accomplish said task. No, no, no. I mean, I could just go with this sort of thing. I don't know if it's facing even the correct direction, honestly. That's a whole issue. I don't think it is. I guess that's worthwhile, actually. So let's take this simple thing here. And if we want to export it, we want to export that as an FBX. We want to put it in our 3D models. And we... Oh, wait, cancel. Okay, so we don't want you to be called a cube anymore. Destroyer hole. Destroyer hole. And with a material. Oh, shoot. I do need to add a material, don't I? Crap. Select assign. Has that not done? That doesn't seem to have done anything. Plus. Select all. Assign. How do I need to give you a name. Where's your name? Okay, this is correct. Whoops. Bro, what? How? Where are these coming from, and why don't they do anything? What the hell? Reset to default copy. Why is like delete not an option? Hello? Help? Material. Okay. Hold on. There we go. This material. Okay. Can I remove? Is that what that is? Nope. That, okay. Sure, that does that. Unlink data block. How do I just delete that shit? Okay, so this is why are there 3? Why do they all get the same name? What is happening? What is happening? Bro, what happened? I just assign. What the fuck? What the fuck? I did some shit and then they all like got compressed down into the one. I don't understand. You're maybe there? Oh wait. Viewpoint shading. Rendered. Material preview. Okay, hold on. Okay. That material is on there. It's a solid color at the moment. That's where we're at. That's fine. Tier list shit is where I'm bad. Okay, well, it's got a material on it. Can I please name you that? Thank you. Save, file, export, FBX. I only want object types. Mesh. Forward is -Z forward. For us, though, X forward is positive X, I think. X forward up is Z up. We try exporting. Who the hell knows? We come back here. So we would need within assets. Okay, so yeah, we've got assets and models. I was using that other model hypothetically as something to work with, but we can delete that. Remove. Okay, what? Game dev, 3D models, basic destroyer, FBX. Dream crashed. I think it's okay on my side. We try pulling in this into models. Basic destroyer FBX. So then what is... So we have player 3D, player 3D, player mesh. We load from the assets models. Open. Select resource does not match any type expected for this property. Mesh. What the hell is this then? It's a packed scene. Open scene? Okay. We have things that are generally working. How do I extract? Instantiate, set as main scene, open scene. How do I extract this? Open scene. Destroyer hull. So within the scene, we have all material. Meshes. Yeah, so we have a mesh that appears to be sideways. Less than ideal. Then that, it seems to correct the direction for me. Actions, extract materials. Okay. Extract. Actions, extract meshes. Set mesh save paths? What does that mean? Destroy hole, set paths? I mean, we have the material, but not the mesh. How exactly do I get a mesh out? Importing mesh from Blender to Godot. Importing 3D scenes, not scenes. I need Blender to Godot. Posted a guide titled 3D models in Godot. What I've learned so far is the beginning. Exporting your 3D model. Apply transformations. Okay, so file, export as. They don't mention what we're demonstrating. Two methods to import model using GLB, GLTF. or blend. Directly importing Blender project files. Okay, so maybe I should export as this. Export GLTF, adjust export settings. Include selected objects. Transform. Just export settings, export Godot. Don't need animation. Data, don't need these or these. Apply. Like transforms, is that an option? .3D models, export. Okay, so then we have models. Delete both of those. And then basic GLB. Still, I guess it's still a scene. It's closer. GLB. This packed scene does not match any type. What the fuck? In Godot, find your file, open advanced import settings, click actions, configure import paths, click re-import. Open advanced import setting. What are they talking about? Oh, I see. Okay. Re-import. Open scene. Import F8. What are we trying to do? Root type, root name. Okay, so if I select specifically the meshes, can I re-import? What does this do? How does this shit work? I'm going insane. All right. You know what? I'm losing my mind continuing to fight this. So I think I might call stream here. A little bit short, but this shit takes more mentals than just playing games. So we're gonna just save this, and that's what we're gonna call a good day. All right. Hey, we made progress. Quite a bit of progress. We got enemies we can shoot. And that's where we're going to call it. So, the one good thing is I feel like that gives me enough baseline grounding to talk to my friend who's a developer and see if he would be willing to give me a code review as far as like what stupid ass decisions I've made. Along with, then I can sort of barrage him with some of the big questions that I have about like scale and the water shader and buoyancy and some of those things that I'm just like not clear on how to make happen. So I don't know. We'll see when I can get a chance to do that, but that's all I have mental faculties for today. Thanks for coming and hanging out. Joker, and others. I hope everybody has a good night. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. And I will be back Tuesday. We'll be back to Isaac. Hopefully I'll see you there. Bye.